Minister, first of all, I would like to commend the retired workers that we met yesterday outside the gates of Leinster House, and there are a whole plethora of workers from semi-state, state and the private sector that gave their working lives not only to their families, the company, but the state as well. And these were very well organised workers, very well, in the great spirit of trade unionism. The people that, my parents kind of grew up to, admire in relation to standing, shoulder to shoulder in relation to the workplace. And that's kind of, that's the kind of the spirit of, trade unionism and kind of sticking to each other's kind of solidarity. And just in relation to the issue, the substantial issue, Minister, is that, this is their money, and they should have a say in regards to a pension fund that is kind of kept aside for a future date when they retire. And some of these workers do not get any state pensions and are reliant on this occupational scheme for their income. So at the moment, this bill will give a remit in relation to them being consulted in regards to any change. Now that seems very kind of democratic and very kind of simple, but obviously that's not the case. And you have a situation where, ministers that have been formerly in this place that will get very, very handsome pensions, but if there was a situation there where if their pension went down or they weren't consulted, they'd be up in arms. I mean, some of the pensions that ministers have got is absurd, absolutely absurd. It's quite sickening. Like, some of them people are on 160,000 a year. I mean, it's unbelievable. Some of the, the payments that TDs get in relation to their pensions, while working people that have worked decades are on a very kind of ordinary pension. And this bill wants to change that kind of remit. And I think, Minister, the spirit of the bill is in the great tradition of decent, paying conditions, decent kind of for the future generation. Because, look, there's people that don't really think of their future in relation to pensions, and that's the key, issue is that this generation wants to look at the next generation. That, in the case of pensions and the case of provision of pensions and the case of democratic control around their money, you have to think about it. It's their money. They've worked so hard for this, and they don't have a say. So in the spirit of that, in democracy, in the spirit of trade unionism, in the spirit of, workers sticking together, it's imperative that this bill goes through without the amendment tonight. Thanks.